Breer just kind of out of nowhere. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's 6 guys in the league, non-quarterbacks, who get $40+ million a year.
None of them are corners.
None of them are corners. Top of the market is McDuffie at 31.
It's edge rushers and
wide receivers. It's Chase and JSN. JSN just got it this offseason. And then it's 4 edge rushers. It's Parsons, it's Watt, it is Myles Garrett, and who was the other one he said in there? One more. Hutchinson, Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, right.
So
he makes that much?
Those players make $40+ million a year.
Huh.
And so Breer elevates him into that category, where he's not just looking to be the highest paid corner, and we've illustrated this, I think, pretty thoroughly on this show. Surtain, then Sauce, then Stingley, now McDuffie. He's not looking to make another $1 million over McDuffie, or maybe even another couple million over a guy like Witherspoon. He wants to reset the market and get corners paid like edge rushers and wide receivers. That at least maybe what he wants to do, and Breer is not ruling it out.
Now, he also says maybe Witherspoon wants that too, which
Correct.
I would say to Witherspoon, all right, you can wish in one hand and you know what in the other and sort of see what happens. But I always looked at the guaranteed total money and not the year-by-year money. And maybe Gonzalez is obviously looking at both, right? Because Trent McDuffie went out and became the highest paid at both, right? So Trent McDuffie became the first $100 million guaranteed corner of this whole group, right? His average salary is $31 million. So, which is just north of Sauce Gardner, what he signed the year before. Now it's 15 more million guaranteed, which I would think like, oh, that's way over. But as far as the year to year, it's just slightly over. Sauce is like 30 and change per year. So is there a way, if Gonzo's really fixated on that number?
It's actually a better number.
What,
for the Pats?
Yeah.
It's better to be fixated on that than than blowing the total guarantees out of the
50,
water.
Right. But the guaranteed is like 100 or 120.
That's a good point.
So I wonder if that's something where they could sort of like play to his ego and be like, hey, you can, and that's why these football contracts, they always lead with like the first number, and the first number is so showy, and you're like, this guy just signed a $200 million deal. And you're like, yeah, but 120 is guaranteed. So maybe you get a little bit of best of both worlds where the Patriots aren't paying completely through the nose in actual guarantees, but then Gonzo can kind of puff his chest out and be like, I reset the cornerback market, and I made corners get what wideouts are getting and what some of the pass rushers are getting. So maybe there's a little bit of both. But this was also my thought on, we can't just blame the team. Now, I usually take the player's side, and until we really hear what it is, I will continue to take the player's side. But if it's not just, I don't want to just be the highest paid player at the position. I want to be like light years ahead. All right, well, now you have to start to think about that, and does that make the most sense for the team?
So what do? So Texter says Gonzo is not on the $40 million a year players, not even close. He's good, but he's not that good. So he's not Chase, he's not JSN, although he just locked down JSN in the Super Bowl.
He probably would tell you he is.
He's not Hutchinson, he's not Parsons, he's not Watt, he's not Garrett. Okay, I mean, maybe he's not. What if he wants to get paid that way? What do you do?
I think you still kind of have to, as you would say, hold your nose
and give it to him. Hold your nose and give it to him. That's my method.
That would have to be the.
That's how I get my scoops.
You get in the hot tub and you get a deal done.
I would hold my nose and give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you would. I don't know.
So you wouldn't trade him if they're that far apart, where the Pats are like, look, we thought we were talking Stingley money. McDuffie screwed it all up. Now we were never even talking McDuffie money. You want Myles Garrett money?
But if the Pats
get out of here.
But if the Pats were already thinking that he was going to not be the highest paid corner, that's on them. Like, that's ridiculous.
Agreed.
Now you need to already go.
But Stingley was the highest, so maybe they were thinking about that, and then McDuffie redefined the market, which is their fault for dragging their feet.
Yes, right.
McDuffie, you could have extended Gonzo in that window where McDuffie got it. You didn't. So
which number are you more looking at? The total, if you're the Patriots, you're more looking at the total guarantee, right?
Yeah.
So if the total guarantee is a 100 even for Trent McDuffie, I'd be like, all right, we can do like 110, maybe 120,
and make it $40 million a year on paper. Sure, I'm with you on that.
Okay, so that's probably where I would go, because he also deserves it. I think Seattle's in a different conversation because, like, their guy is eligible for it, but he's not the best corner in the league, and I still think Patrick Surtain is, but like. Gonzo, you can make the case for that he's certainly in the top 3 for corners, whereas Witherspoon, I don't know if you really can make that case.
You can also make the case, I just shut down the guys we just said making 41.
True.
So, all right, if he's that valuable and I won that battle, and that was in the Super Bowl, not just like week 4, it was the biggest game, the biggest stage, and I locked him down. He gets 41. What about me?
I don't want to not pay the guy and then trade him for a first-round pick or a couple first-round picks. I don't
either.
That.
Would that be good business? Maybe. Is it bad business to give him $40+ million a year? Maybe. But does it make your team better to trade him for a couple of draft picks? Not this year and not anytime soon. And maybe long-term it would be good business. I wouldn't advise him to do it either. I'm with you, Keefe. I'd pay him. If that's what he wants, then that sucks. But you got to pay for talented players. The Lions had to pay Hutchinson. The Browns had to pay Myles Garrett. We're not talking about historically well-run organizations. They're paying those guys. You got to do it too.
I think it might have been Andy Hart that said a while ago about how you don't regret the big contracts if the guy's really good. You only regret it when the guy sucks and you're like, we're paying him that much, or he's eating up this much of the cap and he's not performing. And that's why there's a list of quarterbacks that are all making more than this, and you're like, really? You're paying Trevor Lawrence that much? Or pick another guy, you're paying him that much? That's when it really hurts you.
Correct.
If Christian Gonzalez for the next 4 years is an all-pro, paying him $40 million, all right, you got to get creative with maybe some of the other guys, or you got to go find that diamond in the rough at linebacker, or you got to find a cheaper tight end, or you got to go do that. You got to really kind of, be a wizard as a GM. But if you can identify the best players in the league and pay them, it makes the most sense. I mean, look around at some of the really successful teams around the league. They have some of the highest paid guys at each position. That's what you want to go back to being. And you finally identified a really good one in the draft. Keep them. I don't want to go back fishing in the draft again.
So the other answer is, and maybe this is why the Patriots might be comfortable doing it, you don't have to trade him today. You don't have to pay him the $40 million he wants, allegedly, today. And you go year to year with him, and you say, Christian, you're already under contract. Hey, Christian, we're going to pick up, which they still haven't announced.
Two things are going to happen.
They still haven't announced it, that they're picking up that fifth-year option.
When do they have? They have till May.
They have time, but I'm just saying they still have. There were more that came out over the weekend. More teams are picking those options up.
Yeah,
they still have not.
Do you think that's a sign that they are trying to get a long-term deal done because they're
they haven't picked it up?
We'll do that if we have to, but right now we're working towards something.
Seattle did pick it up with JSN and then turned around and paid him a day later. So I don't think it would prevent you, but maybe they're like, we haven't picked it up yet because we are negotiating. That's possible. I'm just saying there's a middle road there, and I think that's going to be the toughest needle to thread. That's going to get real ugly in that middle road where you're telling him, we'll pay you maybe in a couple of years, but you have to stay healthy in the meantime, and you're going to make peanuts in the meantime because that's the deal you signed, and we're going to hold you to it. That can create some real bad blood, and it might have him holding out and not showing back up. Last year, he kind of had to show up at some point. He might not be itching to show back up this go-round.
I think he would hold in. I think that's what a lot of players end up doing is holding in, and then don't you think, his hamstring's barking at him? That's what I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll play. And
but can he afford to do that with how many games he's missed? You want to prove it to us that you're actually more injury prone?
Yeah, but I think everybody will know that he's not really hurt.
That's his only negotiating point.
Yeah.
What else is he going to do?
I'm not going to keep missing games. You can only miss so many games.
Well, let's play this out. He missed, 4 games last year, 3 games last year, whatever it was at the start of the year. Did that hurt his negotiating at all?
No, and I also think
when you look at the whole of it, he missed almost an entire season. He's missed a month on top of that.
Yeah, but those are, to Keefe's point, those are real injuries. This is a holdout injury.
No, this would be a fake injury.
Last year, the fake hamstring holdout injury didn't hurt him at all.
And this would just be bad blood where a team trades for him and would immediately give him the contract that he wants. Right? They wouldn't care because they would be like, you were actually hurt and you were protecting yourself. So, that's fine. The grass is always greener somewhere else, and also some other player is not a problem for you if he's a problem for another team. You're like, we can fix him. We'll be fine.